Red Dead Redemption has an amazing story, not many people can deny that. To make a good story we also need good characters, and man oh man, some of the characters in this game are superb! Today in this video I'll highlight the 10 best characters of Red Dead Redemption. If you disagree, that's fine, let me know what your top 10 list looks like. Here is mine, enjoy! On the 10th spot I would like to place Landon Ricketts. As you probably know, Red Dead Redemption is separated into 4 main chapters. We have the starter main area, where we take over a fort. We have the Mexico section, where we take down 2 baddies. Chapter 3 is the return for the rest of the baddies. And the last one, which involves the farm. Well, to me the Mexico section had the worst characters and storyline, and only one character stood out to me as not that terrible, and that's Mr. Ricketts. He's an old gunslinger, a dying breed just like John, but he has way more experience. Just the way he talks and acts, you can't really deny that he's a nice guy to have around. Sure, he killed many people in the past, but he also does try to help out the people in need and has a good heart.
Yeah, killing men's a strange kind of fame. I was the fastest in my time, I must have been.
The person on the 9th spot is... this guy... Yeah, I don't think he has a name. He appears in one cutscene and stole my heart. Let's call him Alexander, since he reminds me so much of me when I was working at my previous job. This guy probably spends his whole day counting stuff, no excitement, no adventure, he's locked in a room, taking orders from people who are much richer and much more successful than him. This was me, back in the day, and out of any character in this game I can relate the most to Alexander. You could say it's a waste of a spot, but goddammit, it's my list, and Alex will be on it. Next.
113. Upstairs on the right. 114. 115.
The 8th person is Drew McFarlane, Bonnie's father. You guys have probably watched many movies and played many games in your life, right? What usually happens when a father meets his daughter's boyfriend, male colleague, or even a friend? He starts asking questions, acts superior, gives orders, and has no trust of the person. It's a cliche and I'm tired of it. Mr. McFarlane is the complete opposite of that. The moment I saw him, I smelled trouble. A big buff guy with a fancy mustache and enormous hands, holy crap! Ahem, he was supposed to be a cliché character, but all I saw from him is respect, good manners, and he even provided help. If I showed respect towards him, as John, I expected respect back, and that's exactly what I got. Great guy.
Come on, I hear you're a pretty decent rider. For a city dweller, that is.
On the 7th spot we have Harold McDougall. Every Rockstar game needs a wacky character, and in this game it's Harold. He's not that over the top as some of the ones we have seen in GTA games, but it's getting close. This guy is doped up as hell. He is experiencing, I guess, what the drugs can do to the system, and apparently they can do a lot. They can do so much damage that for a scientist, he is pretty dumb. All the facts he spews are completely untrue. And of course, since he's a self-proclaimed scientist, everybody around him believes his lies and they become more stupid than they were. And Harold should have the opposite effect on people. It's not the case though, and he cracks me up. He's also loyal and I respect him.
Dad, I've been looking at some blood samples through my microscope, and you know what?
No.
Well, of course you don't.
The 6th spot is taken by Edgar Ross, the big bad of Red Dead Redemption, the guy without who this game would not have a story. It's because of him we run around so much, wasting villain after villain and almost lose our life several times. Mr. Ross does not hold back. He belittles us, talks crap, acts superior, and also makes me angry when he opens his dirty little mouth, just as the main antagonist should. He is a perfect cast and his role as the main villain is well deserved. Taking him down was way more satisfying than taking down Dutch, despite me doing it with Jack. He's actually the only villain on my list, since the rest are very boring and not well fleshed out, Edgar is a true scumbag though, and every bullet I put into his torso was well deserved.
Civilization may be dull, but the alternative, Mr. Marston, is hell.
On number 5 we have Lea Johnson, the Marshal of Armadillo. Now, I don't care how hardcore, how frightening, and how much of a macho man is John Marston. He is nothing, I say, in comparison to the Marshal. It's like comparing CJ to Nico Bellic. Mr. Johnson is never afraid of anything. He sacrificed his life several times for the good of the people. He helps out the people who need it, and put a bullet in the criminals who make everybody's life miserable. A true Marshal. We don't see many of him in other games.
My cause is to keep this town from turning into a living hell for the folks who live here.
The 4th best character is Bonnie McFarlane, a missed opportunity for John. Of course, I respect John for not just abandoning his family and all, but man, Bonnie has it all. A massive farm she runs. She's pretty rich, or at least she can be if she sells the farm. She's caring, knows how to use medicine. She definitely knows how to handle herself. I gotta admit, I would be pretty tempted to marry her if I was John. Even after she almost got hung, almost beaten to death and barely bleeding, she could still crack a joke, laughing in the face of danger. Top tier character in my books, and John would have been much happier with her than he was with Abigail, who I despise.
Next time, Mr. Marston, I strongly recommend you don't try to lose it quite so earnestly.
On the 1st spot we have Seth Briars, or should I say Gollum. He for real reminds me of the skeleton dude from Lord of the Rings. He has the same manners, the same look, he doesn't wash at all, he's boring in a weird way just like Smeagol. Dude is a walking skeleton who digs up other skeletons. His whole purpose in life is to find a map which leads to a treasure. Well, when he gets him the treasure, it turns out it's nothing but a glass eye. That cutscene solidified his spot here. Greatly acted all around. A good ally who I thought would be deceitful at the start. All his cutscenes weird me out since John doesn't even flinch from all the butt stench coming out of Seth. Awesome character.
I want to cut into a bona fide man's flesh. Ain't never cut into a live one before.
On the 2nd spot I actually place the protagonist of the game, John Marston. Most people place the protagonist at the top, but not me. That of course is reserved for my waifu. Mr. Marston is one of the best protagonists in a Rockstar game. Obviously Arthur beats him by a mile, but John has his upsides too. The reason he's not on number 1 is because of how dumb he can be. Several times in key moments of the story he just stays there talking to the enemy, having a casual chat when he knows that at any moment he could lose his life. He lets people escape twice. He got shot twice as well for no reason whatsoever. For a great gunslinger he's pretty dumb, I gotta say. Maybe the professor had a bad influence on him, I don't know. It still does not change the fact that John is an amazing character who runs the show, who is not afraid to save his family, who is loyal to the people he loves. He should be a role model to all of you looking to create a family in the future. Please be like John and not like Dutch or Seth or something.
I ain't no literary man, but I don't think that'll sell. People like shooting in them things.
And the absolutely best character in Red Dead Redemption is a sexy beast, a mastermind in humor. He has a body of an angel. Screw Bonnie, Mr. Dickens is in the house. John should have married this guy really. Leave Abigail, Bonnie, Louisa and everybody else. Dickens will make John happy. I don't know where to start, guys. Jokes aside, this guy made the game for me. He makes me laugh every time I see him. His demeanor and mannerism fit his character so well. He's a charlatan who looks hella professional. So professional that almost everybody falls for his lies. Being such a scam artist, you never expect him to follow up on his word to help me. Well, he proves me wrong. He is a major help to the story and we would not have been able to find our family if it wasn't for Dicky Boy. I just love him so much. He did not overstay his welcome, and I feel like if we gave him a little bit more time on the screen, it would have been too much. Perfect addition and mad respect for the dude. Of course not for his actions, but for what he is as a character.
We need some extra lubricant to oil the machinery of business.
With that said, feel free to leave a hateful comment down below about how I'm a terrible person for not placing Dutch on my list, or maybe for not putting Landon Ricketts higher up. Just bear in mind that I have only 10 spots to work with, and this is my list based on my experience on the game. Your experience is undoubtedly different, so share your list below if you want. I hope you enjoyed, guys. For more in-depth analysis on the whole game, watch my hour-long retrospective on it. Thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to Ola Velikanen, Case Knights, Monish Parif, Sepp Levy, Epic Elev, The Sleepgate Studios, Shinte, Clint McCurry, Extreme Stuff, Jacob Madley, Max Robinson, Unknown Stranger, Jim Francescos, and everybody else.